Hello there, good morning, and welcome back to the Football Tribe YouTube channel. My name is Robert K. Sarkos, and thank you for tuning in. Yes, I know it's been a minute since we last interacted, but we are back in full strength. Welcome back from that long international break. Well, did you enjoy it? I hope you did. Usually, the knife cuts on both sides. Some do enjoy it, some find it quite boring. But eventually, we are back with league action across the globe. And today, we'll be focusing on the Premier League Match Day 5. And we'll be talking about that and more. But before we get it all started, I just wanted to let you know some of the news coming through there. Basically, the winners for the month of August. Tottenham's Ange Postecoglou was given the Manager of the Month award for the month of August. Beautiful work he's done at Tottenham. Remember, he started his Premier League spell with a 2 draw against Brentford before beating up against Manchester United. He went on to pick victories against Bournemouth and subsequently against Burnley at the start of this month. So, beautiful performances there from Ange Postecoglou. His player, summer signing, James Maddison, was voted the Premier League Player of the Month for the month of August there. He's been incredible. He fits like a needle in that Tottenham team. So beautiful performances. While Brighton's Kaoru Mitoma won Goal of the Month for the month of August for his goal against Wolverhampton Wanderers in that 4-1 victory for Brighton. So that's the update from the Premier League in terms of winners. Those that did win, well, September is here. You can give it a shot. So allow us to get it started with all the fixtures that will be coming your way this weekend on match day 5 from the Premier League. Action kicks off at 2:30 p.m. That's East African time as Wolverhampton Wanderers host Liverpool. Now, more action comes in plenty at 5 p.m. as Aston Villa host Crystal Palace. Uh, Fulham play Luton Town. Manchester United host Brighton and Hove Albion. Tottenham Hotspurs will play Sheffield United, while West Ham will welcome Manchester City. In the late kickoff of Saturday, Newcastle will play Brentford, while on Sunday, AFC Bournemouth will host Chelsea in the early kickoff at 4 p.m. and later at 6:30 p.m. Arsenal will travel to Goodison Park where they will play Everton. And on Monday night football, Nottingham Forest will host Burnley. So those are the fixtures that will be coming throughout the course of the weekend until Monday for the Premier League Match Day 5. So, but for Saturday's pick-out game, we'll turn our lenses on Manchester United as they play at home against Brighton Hove Albion, a fixture they've, they've been troubled with in the last 3 meetings and slightly beyond. So, Manchester United have not beaten Brighton. In fact, they've lost to Brighton in their last 3 meetings. But remember, this meeting is at Old Trafford, where Manchester United are unbeaten in the last 31 games. So, they've won 27 of those and drawn 4. That's a record that spans over a year. So, they're really good at Old Trafford. So, do not be surprised if they do pick up a result. But I mean, we're talking about the Brighton side that before the international break did beat up against Newcastle by 3-1. Ivan Ferguson there with a hat-trick. So anything can happen in this fixture. On the Brighton side, it is expected that as a summer recruit, that's the on-loan star from Barcelona, Ansu Fati, could make his Premier League debut and a debut for Brighton in Hall, as well as the midfielder Carlos Baleba, who was signed to as a replacement for Moises Caicedo in that midfield. So those two could make their debuts this weekend as Brighton and De Zerbi visit Old Trafford. Old Trafford is been laden with sort of all sorts of unwelcoming news started off with that face-off between Jordan Sancho and manager Eric Ten Hag, with Jordan Sancho, despite pulling down his statement against United or against Eric Ten Hag, refused to apologize to the manager in that roar, and he has since been asked to train away from the first team squad. So, while speaking at the press conference yesterday, Eric Ten Hag refused to give confirmation whether Jordan Sancho will eventually return to the first team or not. So that we'll wait to see. That's news there. Then Harry Maguire, one of the lead defenders there, in the wake of their injuries, had a lot of backlash from England fans and pundits, having scored an own goal in their fixture against Scotland. So uh, the manager did try to, protect him and defend him that he's a good player, but his recent performances, especially in the last season or so, have been very wanting, to say the least. So he needs to check himself. Usually players go through all sorts of bad spells, but it looks like Maguire's spell is taking longer. Remember, they did want to offload him to West Ham, but looks like the player and West Ham could not come to terms on a personal agreement there, so he eventually stayed. And Eric Ten Hag singing praise on him is no surprise, because he's one of the fit players that he has at the moment to feature in their game against Brighton. So then Brighton still just slightly, they hope to welcome back Ivan Ferguson. He had a slight knee injury, while Danny Welbeck also had a muscle problem that they hope he has recovered fully from, to be able to feature. Now, Danny Welbeck is an OB of Old Trafford before he switched allegiances to Arsenal. So that's one of the most exciting fixtures of the weekend. Manchester United will have to be worried of the likes of Kaoru Mitoma, who has kicked off the season in brilliant style there. Scored a couple of goals and is very athletic. So whether it is Aaron Wan-Bissaka or when he switches wings and he's facing Diego Dalot on the left wing, in the absence of Luke Shaw and Tyler Malacia, whoever plays should be on their toes all evening as they face Brighton. So very interesting game to look out to this Saturday. It's our key fixture that we picked out, but that's the major news from both camps. But still at United, they will be without Sofian Amrabat, who they signed late on in the transfer window. It is reported that he came with an injury that he will have to recover from, while Rasmus Højlund, who made his debut against Arsenal in that 3-1 defeat for Manchester United, would make his full debut when they play Brighton. So look out for that. Then United will also be hoping that Marcus Rashford does find his fine form. Yes, he did score against Arsenal, but he wasn't as athletic as we know him. He wasn't quite shiny and brilliant on the day in the whole, but they will be hoping that he can regain his form from last season, where he scored about 30 goals. So no competitions. So let's wait and see what United have to offer, but their problems are largely in defense, where they picked up a couple of injuries. Lisandro Martinez will be available, but he's got niggles here and there, and then Rafael Varane is absent, as well as Victor Lindelof. It was withdrawn, so I'm not saying he's absent, but we'll wait and see what lineup they do put out there. Andre Onana will need to be better at saving shots against his goal than he perhaps, initiates a play with his feet, if United are to pick a decent result in this game. So that will be the action at Old Trafford. Maybe another key fixture to look out for in this Saturday games will be between West Ham and Manchester City. Remember, West Ham are up there on the table, actually fourth on the table with 10 points, having beaten up against teams like Chelsea, teams like Brighton, winning 3-1, 3-1, and 2-1 against Luton Town. Yes, they did win 2-1 against Luton Town in their most recent fixture. So they've been in great shape. They do face a Manchester City side that are unbeaten in the opening 4 fixtures of the season. They have maximum points. That's 12 out of 12, and they lead the table. So then the other key fixture that we have picked out is Everton versus Arsenal. That is on Sunday, on Super Sunday. Uh, Remember, Arsenal have not beaten or have not won at Goodison Park in the last 5 meetings, losing 4 and drawing 1. Remember, last season, while they were chasing the title, they did lose by a goal to nil when Sean Dyche had just been appointed as replacement for Frank Lampard at Goodison Park. That game, winning it 1-0. I think it was Tarkowski that scored that goal, the header, to win it 1-0. But Arsenal did win the reverse fixture by 4 goals to 1. So, at Goodison Park, they've been bad visitors there, and the way they've started the season has not been very convincing to say that you can't bet your life on Arsenal beating up against Everton, despite Everton being in a very bad shape. Started the season quite poorly, just managing a point in 4 games and losing the other 3. And even that 1 point nearly was nearly snatched if it hadn't been for Jordan Pickford making a double save in that game against Sheffield United in that 2-2 draw in their last fixture before the international break. So, Sean Dyche, I know we all know you try to frustrate Arsenal, close those spaces that they love so much to play in. They'll play that long ball. They want to capitalize on the counter-attacks and most importantly, the set pieces like corners. So that's the kind of game we expect. We can expect Arsenal to dominate possession as always, but finding penetration will be a whole different measure. And Arsenal fans will be intentional on looking out how Mikel Arteta does select his team in the absence of Thomas Partey, who is still on the sidelines, just as much as Jurriën Timber, who is out for the better part of the season. But that notwithstanding, particularly, they will be interested in that midfield role where Kai Havertz comes in, whether Pablo Vieira could be given a start to the game, or Leandro Trossard can be thrown in there, so that a bit of pressure is off Kai Havertz. But we all know stubborn Mikel Arteta has so far been insistent with playing Kai Havertz, despite him having a bit of a rough patch in his start to his Arsenal career. But we'll wait and see how it all goes down. Yes, Everton have had their injury problems, including but not limited to the usual suspect Dominic Calvert-Lewin, but new striker Beto has been making things happen. So we wait to see how they will fare. The likes of Diakore in that midfield, Idris Gana Gueye in that midfield, while Pickford leads them out in goal. On any day, he can be a very good goalkeeper, but he's also prone to blunders. On the other Arsenal side, still there's speculation that Aaron Ramsdale could be dropped for David Raya after this international break, but we'll all just wait to see how the respective managers will select their lineups going into the fixture. But it is one that has been a bit daunting for the Gunners in the last meetings or so. So that's it in brief from the Football Tribe. Keep your eyes locked to the channel. We'll be reviewing more of the games now that action is fully back. We'll be reviewing action as it comes your way and bringing you the latest from the world of football, especially in the Premier League. So thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Do not forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and click that notifications button so that you can be notified when a new video is dropped. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.